What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing on this beautiful Monday morning?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. Is it Monday morning? Yes. Good job on the
Yeah.
date, Pat. You got it right. Yo, I was just gonna say this to you before. It's funny as hell. I've oddly been sleeping so well. What a coincidence since the Judge signing. Like my stress, I didn't realize how stressed I was about it, Pat. And now all of a sudden, everything is for the most part all good. I'm chilling. How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. No, I'm not okay. No, to be honest with you, I'm not okay
Because you
because,
want
like,
Carlos Correa. I know.
I want Carlos Correa, and that's what this episode is going to be about. We're going to talk about some other things too, but let's get right into topic number one. With Aaron Judge finally locked up, like you mentioned, the Yankees are going in on all in on Carlos Rodon. For me, it kind of feels like it's almost inevitable, but I feel like we keep getting like I don't know. I feel weird that it hasn't happened yet. But even though it hasn't happened yet, I would still probably consider the Yankees the favorites at this point to sign him. How excited would you be for a Carlos Rodon signing?
Yeah, so I'm totally with you, dude. It feels inevitable, but in the back of my head, I don't want to get too excited because at one point, for those younger fans, you may not remember this. Cliff Lee was a 99%er at one point 10 years ago. I thought we were going to get him. It was a Sherlock. I don't want to get all that excited, but I am getting excited, Pat. And,
Yeah.
kind of hypocritical on my sense a little bit because for those who remember, early in the offseason, I was screaming offense, offense, offense. One, my blueprint is kind of out the window, not possible anymore. Two, bro, I ain't going to lie. I now want Carlos Rodon just as bad as I wanted Garrett Cole 3 years ago. I swear to God. And I feel like that's how most of the fan base feels, to be honest. But
I
for
don't.
those who I think the majority is wanting Carlos Rodon, knows how good he is. But for those who don't want him, I think they don't realize how good he is, man. Like since the start of 2021, and that's when he totally changed his career around. He is first in strikeouts, third in WAR, fourth in ERA. Has also allowed the fifth fewest home runs per 9 innings since 2021. Like this dude is legitimately at the very least a top 7 pitcher in baseball. Might honestly be top 5 right now. And he's going to cost less than 200 million. Probably. I think it's going to come down to the 6th year. That's what reports are saying. Whether the Yankees get him or not. Do they want to give him that 6th year? Total opposite of what I said in the beginning of the offseason. But dude, I want Carlos Rodon really, really bad.
Bro, like, here's where I stand on it, right? I think I'm not one of those people that's like in love with him, and I'm also not one of those people who like don't want him. I feel like there's some sort of middle ground, right? And obviously, like, yeah, I'd be very happy if the Yankees signed him, but I feel like I can't like really want him as much as like I wanted Cole, like you mentioned, solely because when the Yankees signed Cole, I felt like that he was like the missing piece, right? I
Yeah.
don't necessarily view Rodon as like a missing piece. It's like, yeah, if the Yankees sign him, like I would say they probably have the best rotation in baseball. But even without him, I still think that they have one of the best rotations in baseball. I would my whole philosophy on the Rodon potential Rodon signing, it would all depend on what happens before or after that, right? Because let's just say Rodon is like the only big piece remaining from the offseason. I'll be a little bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, just because, like we said, the offense is the main concern at this point. And if you don't do anything major to improve the offense, and you do sign a Carlos Rodon, I'm still not considering this offseason a success because that means all you really did is replace Jameson Tyone with Carlos Rodon,
Which
right?
is huge. But no, I hear you
Which is
totally.
big, but it's not like it. That's not getting you over the hump of the Astros, right?
Okay. Yes. Well, a couple things about that. Now, if that were the only move this offseason, I'm with you, then I would consider it a failure. But when you bring up the Astros, and this is kind of where I'm starting to flip a little bit on the situation, is because our lineup isn't as good as the Astros. That's a big reason why I was preaching offense, 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 and still am. We have to go out and get another bat or two. But with the Astros losing Verlander, and if we add Rodon, all of a sudden we talk about closing the gap, getting it to where it'd be a competitive ALCS. That, without a doubt, like you said, that would give us the best rotation in baseball, which means we would have the advantage over them in a very important area come playoffs. The starting rotation, like we would have the better starting staff
No, but we still can't hit
than the
them.
Astros. Yes, which is why it's going to take you go out and get Rodon, and Brian Reynolds is going to be a big piece of this, or getting some sort of other bat, because yes, the offense has to be addressed, but I can't lie, man. A starting rotation of Cole, Rodon, Nestor, Sevi, Frankie Montas as our fifth. It's hooked me, man. Like if we don't get him, I'll be disappointed as hell.
Yeah,
Crazy as that sounds, where I was like a month ago, but dude, I need Carlos Rodon at this point. Need him.
I don't think it's unreasonable. I really don't. Moving on. You know who I would be upset if we don't get? Carlos friggin' Correa. Like, Dan, you know where I've stood on this for over a year now, right? I was hard on Correa. last offseason.
Whoa!
That's insane. It's the second episode in a row because last episode I said something involving like growing into his assets. Jason Dominguez, remember? Whatever.
Yeah, which somebody said the funniest thing. They were like, "That's something like a creepy uncle says." About
Yeah. Great comment. But yeah, bro, I was so in on Correa last offseason, and obviously I feel the same way this offseason because I view him as the missing piece. We talk about missing pieces, bro. I think he's that guy. You put Carlos Correa into that lineup, it changes everything. To have another impact bat like him, and also not even like what he does with the bat, but also like we know he's very good defensively. And then also, bro, the edge factor. He has came in clutch in the postseason time after time. Like he knows how to win, right? And I know we could say, oh, his only ring is tainted with cheating. I don't care. Like he has proven himself in the biggest moments every single postseason, it feels like, right? I can't see him going back to Minnesota, bro. Like a player like Carlos Correa needs to be playing in a big market. And I truly think that he'd flourish in Yankee Stadium. And I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and imagine this, right? Carlos Correa signs with the Yankees. He takes number 13 for A-Rod. It would be A-Rod, bro. Him coming to the Yankees would be A-Rod. Judge's Jeter. And I know for a long time, like people are like, oh, Giancarlo Stanton is the A-Rod to Judge's Jeter.
He's too perfect of a Yankee now to be A-Rod.
He's too perfect, bro. I genuinely think that Carlos Correa, bro, pull up, take number 13. He's the A-Rod.
All right, sure. And he always was. A-Rod was always Correa's comp from like the second he was drafted. I agree with everything you said, but it's not going to happen. Like, and that's a big part of because Rodon, I think, is at this point, we can call him inevitable, like you said. And right now, before Rodon, with Judge, the payroll's at $248 million. That leaves what is that? Like right around $30 million or so. And if you can dump Hicks, dump Donaldson, you have some room to play with. I don't think they're going to be able to dump Donaldson, by the way. But point is, unless Hal's willing to go past the second luxury tax threshold, it just doesn't fit in. Correa's going to get at least $300 million, at least $30 million a year, that is. So, like I said, unless he's willing to go past 273, I just don't really see where that fits. Now, your argument might be get Correa instead of Rodon, which I would be for that. I just don't see that as realistic either because while the AAV is similar, they're both, $30 million a year players. I just can't see the Yankees adding another $300 million contract right after signing Judge while still having Cole, Stanton as well, even though his contract isn't all that insane. Rodon, bro, is happening, I think. Correa, I would love it. I would love Correa. The player is awesome. And I'm over not that I'm over the cheating thing, but like I can easily get past that to bring in Carlos Correa. No problem at all. That's not an issue. It's just while I'm easily excited over Rodon, and it doesn't take much for me to like really get invested in getting a superstar player, I just think it's too crazy of a possibility that like I can't even really get all that excited about it.
Did you see the report that the Dodgers are apparently like not pursuing Correa because they don't think the fan base would be happy about it? Did you see that?
Dude, please. If Yankee fans can get over it, who are diehard as hell, casual bandwagon Dodgers fans will have no problem. Dude, how bad did we want to love Josh Donaldson last year? Right after we despised him the year prior. We wanted to love him. He didn't really give us much of an opportunity. Correa, dude, within the first week, everybody would love him. That's not the problem for me. There's no problem with Correa. I would love him. It's just I don't see a world where that happens. And, this all stems from Buster Only. Michael Kay said, Yanks are working on Rodon. They were trying to get something bigger as well, while also getting Rodon. Who could that really be if not Correa? Does that mean Brian Reynolds? To me, it could, because people I feel like are still undervaluing how good Brian Reynolds is. That would be a major, major splash for me.
Yeah.
I don't see Correa, though.
One more thing about Correa, though. I'm looking at the Yankees. I say the next 5-year window. Like, why not go all out? Like, why are we so concerned about like the luxury tax threshold when like you have a core right now, right? Judge is back, bro. Like, and we kind of mentioned this in like the episode where we talked about Judge re-signing. I think you have a 5-year window of Cole, Judge, and Stanton's prime. And I think you need to do everything you can to capitalize. You have to win a title in the next 5 years. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you're not doing everything possible to put the best possible team on the field, bro, we might look back on this baby bomber era, whatever you want, the Judge era, I guess we could call it now. And if they don't win a World Series, it's like we'll look back on like Carlos Correa being available for 2 straight off seasons when the Yankees have a clear hole at shortstop. And I know we have Volpe coming up. I know we have Peraza like ready to start at shortstop in the major leagues. But you have an elite shortstop already available on the market. If you don't even like make a serious pursuit of him, I think that's just
Well,
like negligence, bro.
without a doubt, the Yankees need to add one more impact bat. Like I said before, ideally two. Maybe Hal Steinbrenner. I mean, we already seen what he said about money's not really going to be an issue this offseason. If he can, put his money where his mouth is, see Steve Cohen cross the town. Dude, what is the payroll? What is the Mets payroll now? $350 million after signing Kodai Senga? Dude, nuts. So if he's willing to go past 273, it's certainly possible. Then it's like, yo, you might as well. I don't see it happening, unfortunately, Pat. Sorry to break your heart. I know you've been a big Correa guy for a while now. I just can't get all that invested in it.
But yo, speaking of the offseason, speaking of what we think would make it a successful offseason, because I think we could both agree as of right now, it's definitely not. Even though the Yankees did re-sign Judge and Rizzo, I'm still not viewing it as a successful offseason just because they haven't improved, right? No improvements. I mean, Kahnle, but we'll talk about him soon. So, Dan, let's say two key players that the Yankees could acquire the rest of the offseason, whether that's free agency or trade, that would make you consider this a successful offseason.
Okay, so this may sound a little redundant because we talked about these guys a lot in this episode, but for me to consider it not necessarily an A+, but one where I would be content with, look back on it and be like, all right, we improved enough. Let's go for 2023. Rodon and Brian Reynolds, honestly. And then on top of that, one more impact bat that's less than $14 million. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The main benefit, or one of the main benefits of getting Reynolds, is that instead of getting Benintendi, who's closing in on $20 million a year on this market, Reynolds only costs $6 million next year. That leaves you room to add more onto the payroll. And that's where that second impact bat could come in. I think if you go out and get a Reynolds, you go out and get Rodon, somebody else on top of that, with getting Judge, getting Rizzo back, most Yankee fans would, I don't want to say like applaud Hal Steinbrenner, but like there wouldn't be death threats coming his way like there were last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not against Reynolds at all. But I mean, my two, I think we could kind of guess it here. I think if you bring in both Carlos Correa, Carlos Rodon, I think that addresses two aspects of the team that I guess could have some improvements.
That would be
not
an
only
A+++.
A++. If you can, if you could give yourself Rodon and give yourself probably the best rotation in all of baseball, one of the best rotations in Yankees
That's
history,
without a doubt. That's
you could
without
even
a
say
doubt.
that. And then also by bringing in Correa, you solidify your lineup because I really think it does change everything. But I mean, it really all depends on what you do with Glaber. If you end up trading Glaber, if DJ's healthy, I mean, if everything goes right for the 2023 Yankees in terms of health and also like players playing up to their potential, and you have Carlos Correa in that lineup, I mean, even if you bro, there could be a world where it's like you have Correa, Rodon, and Reynolds. Like it's a it's a dream scenario,
No,
but it's not impossible, right?
that's another thing about Reynolds, and just goes overall what I'm saying. Like that's really beneficial. The whole thing is trading for him. That doesn't impact free agency in the slightest. It only improves your chances of getting these other guys. So like, if the Yankees were to say in this world, get Correa, get Rodon, then yes, they absolutely still could get Reynolds. Now, something else just popped in my head that I want to run by you. Kind of tells back to the last question, but Dansby Swanson, I thought he'd be a Brave by now. He doesn't move the needle all that much for me, no. But would you consider that to be potentially the bigger thing the Yankees are working on with Rodon?
No.
Because he's probably going to get
not
200 mil, but like maybe like 160, 170. It's one of those moves, same way we talked about Verlander a few weeks back. Like, I'm not for it. I wouldn't protest my way to get Dansby Swanson in the Yankees. But like, if I saw the notification that they signed him, I would still be pretty pumped up, man. Him.
I don't know. Isn't Dansby a little bit overrated?
Yes, he absolutely is. And he seems like somebody that would only thrive in Atlanta. Like, he had a really good year, best year of his career this past year, and it would probably regress. But at the same time, I would be excited if we got him because he's still a solid player. I think he does play solid defense. If you were to give me offseason of Rodon, Reynolds, Swanson, that is an A offseason.
You know,
100%.
He only has one full season in his career where he had an OPS over 800, and that was in 2020, playing 60 games. No,
his OPS wasn't above 800 this past year.
776.
Really? Yeah. What is his defense? What do you want? Fangraphs?
No, I'm on Baseball Reference.
Whatever. I'd be excited if we got him, but he's definitely not like I'm not like craving Dansby Swanson in the Yankees.
Dude, we're talking about Dansby Swanson. Can we both just agree he's probably the best looking player in the league, right?
I think Judge is better looking than him.
Stop, bro. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like any female I have talked to and be like, "Yo, Aaron Judge is a good looking dude," right? they're all like, no, bro.
No, not. I don't know who you're hanging around with, but that's not
Really?
the case for me. Which, yo, I gotta mention. Did you see Judge? Time Athlete of the Year. Did you see the picture they used?
It was all right.
No, it was awful, man. Which is doing him dirty because he's a good looking ass dude. And dude,
Yeah.
it looks like a first day of third grade picture. Your mom's like, smile, and like
Bro,
the
so all
saturation
right,
was all
where
off.
would you rank Dansby though? He's top 3 then.
Sure, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, he has a beard. He would probably have to shave. So not probably.
So
He would have to shave.
stupid, bro. We'll talk about that in another episode because
Yeah.
we differ on that tremendously. But we're talking about the offseason here. We're talking about moves that the Yankees could make. What about a move that the Yankees already have made, Dan? That's Tommy Kahnle. He's back in New York. Kind of came out of nowhere, right? I don't think anybody was really talking this offseason about a Tommy Kahnle reunion. I know this was probably like a couple months, maybe like last month or something. I think he was doing a Twitch stream or something. And I think a clip came out because someone in his chat was like, oh, like Tommy, you should come back to New York. And he's like, we'll see. And after that, I kind of just like, I didn't really think of it after that. But the Yankees gave him 2 years, $11.5 million. Pretty solid deal. He came back last year with the Dodgers after the injury, and he pitched pretty well. I think that this is a definite improvement to the bullpen, right? And not only is it an improvement to the bullpen, but it's also huge in the clubhouse, right? Like when Kahnle was with the Yankees, he was one of the most loved guys like in clubhouse history, bro.
He's fucking nuts, bro.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. I love like all the behind the scenes Tommy Kahnle videos and all that craziness. But yeah, I'm happy about this deal, bro. Like, how could you not be?
Yeah, me too. I mean, the only thing a little scary about it is like if injuries are a problem, then giving him 14 million is tough. But dude, no question. The Yankees bullpen, which was already 14 million, my bad, 11 million. But yeah, Yankees bullpen, dude, was already in a phenomenal spot, contrary to popular belief. And now you're looking at Clay Holmes, Michael King, Jonathan Loaizaga, Wandy Peralta, Tommy Kahnle, Lou Trevino, and Ron Marnacchio. Dude, that is a fucking great bullpen. Phenomenal bullpen. Like probably right up there with the Astros as the best in the American League. So I've said this for a while, like even without Rodon, we're set on pitching, but with the addition of Kahnle, we go out and get Rodon, clear cut. I think we have the best overall pitching staff in at least the AL.
Yeah.
Those 2 impact bats, man, are going to be huge. All of a sudden, man, like if we have the offseason that not exactly Carlos Correa, but if we get the some of the pieces that we're mentioning right now, dude, at least one and a supplemental bet on top of that, this offseason, man, I'm going to be pretty damn happy with it. Like Tommy Kahnle, I was stoked when I found that we got him.
Yeah, and I think that that's the difference, make. I think getting those impact bat parentheses S multiple, I think that that's the freaking deal breaker between whether or not you could beat Houston in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah.
I genuinely think like those, whatever you do with the lineup the rest of the way through the offseason, I think that'll decide where the Yankees finish next season. It's like, because we kind of know, I mean, at least I'm kind of under this impression, the Yankees will probably win the AL East, right, in 2023. That's how I'm
they're the
feeling.
favorite. I would say they're the favorite.
I would say they're the favorite going into the season, but like we don't care because we know that we're probably gonna have to run into Houston in the playoffs again. And if you don't have a lineup, like if you go in, bro, if you go into the 2023 postseason with a similar lineup to what you threw out there this year, you're probably getting swept again. And then what?
Yeah,
then
no,
what,
I mean,
bro?
without a doubt,
I've just recovered from the sweep.
I know. I'm past it myself, actually. Yeah, I'm so ready for 2023, which is a nice feeling. Like 22 is officially in the past. But yeah. Also, I always look at the team like come October, like ultimately that's what matters. So, you can get one impact bat this offseason. So that's Brian Reynolds. And then at the deadline, you can add there as well. And you also know by then what Volpe is. You'll know if DJ's healthy. You'll see what the situation is with Glaber, who I do anticipate will do well. Things could go well in the Yankees' direction. Like the offense, everything could work out. Perfect world. Everybody's healthy, produces. At the very least, so you have to get one bat this offseason and then hopefully 2 total by October, or else we're screwed, like you said.
And bro, like this is kind of like an impromptu question here, but like I'm thinking about the Yankees bullpen, especially like after adding Tommy Kahnle. Do we think that like where do we think they go with the closer situation? Like, is it going to be Holmes? Is it going to be Loaizaga? You think closer by committee? Holmes is going to be the guy?
100%. Yeah, dude, because he was back, man. Like he really, really was. Come October, dude, like in the last 2 weeks of September, he was balling up. Like he may not have exactly been first half Clay Holmes, but I would say he was about 85-90% of it.
You think
like
we'll ever see first half Clay Holmes again?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I wouldn't bet against it. Dude, his sinker, without a doubt, I mean, it's fucking nasty. Like even when he wasn't like his command was struggling, like in the second half of the year, like his sinker was still moving pretty insanely. Clay Holmes is fucking awesome. Jonathan Loaiza, dude. You see what Alex Bregman the other day, by the way, called him like Jonathan Lozowiga or some shit like that.
No.
He said he was
what?
the toughest on like a podcast. He said he was the toughest pitcher to face, which is surprising,
I
but
see
not
that.
surprising, but it's just kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, Loaiza, Martin Asher too. That's a big piece. Kahnle now. Wandy finished this year really strong. Our bullpen is stacked, man. Stacked.
Yo, okay, we're talking about bullpens. I kind of just thought of this because the Mets signed David Robertson. This is like, bro, I was thinking about this the other day. Is there any other team that is like as obsessed with former Yankees relievers than the Mets? Like, is that not like, bro, think about it. When you think about all the relievers that the Mets have acquired from the Yankees, think about it.
D-Rob.
Dellin, D-Rob now. Ottavino, Justin Wilson, Chasen Shreve. I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting, bro. Like, it's just kind of crazy that like the Mets love Yankees relievers. Just saying.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Shout out
That's
Miguel Castro because we
sarcastic.
got him from them. Yeah, dude, it's a mind-blowing take by you, Pat.
Whatever. I'm done. No, I'm done. Whatever.
By the way, DJ is apparently not getting surgery, which is nice. That's came out in the news.
That's nice. You love to see that. Right now?
No, about a week ago.
About
winter
a week
meetings.
ago.
We're gonna go to winter meetings next year, by the way.
I really want to. Bro, it seems like an awesome experience.
Dude,
I've never been
so
before.
dope. So dope, dude. Imagine just chilling around like a hotel lobby, like bugging all these professional people. Be like, "Hi, I'm Dan Rourke. Come talk Yankees
No,
with me."
literally.
Yeah. All right, yo, good episode. A lot of interesting
Beautiful.
stuff, and hopefully by the time we come back, Carlos Rodon will be a Yankee. Probably do an episode on Thursday or come out Friday morning.
Yeah.
And where can they find you, Pat, on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at True Hennessy. Follow me on Twitter at Unhinged Patrick. How about you, Dan?
Dan on Rourke on Twitter, Yankees Avenue, Instagram. Of course, subscribe here on YouTube. Drop a like, drop a comment. We will see you guys next time. Let's go, Yankees.